Here's a question which came to us as a comment on the doctor's YouTube channel. Freedom Fighters 1 wrote, "Why does it hurt when I get soap in my pee hole?" Anatomically speaking, your pee hole, your urethra, it is meant to be a one-way street, but sometimes things can work their way in. I guess in this case, maybe a lot of soap, really lathering it up, and could be developing inflammation down there, little urethritis.
So I think, exactly, I think that they're using soaps that have pretty irritating surfactants, and then they go inside. They're really not meant to be on that delicate mucosal surface, and this has actually got a name. It's called chemical urethritis, which is actually causing an inflammation of the urethra from the chemical irritation. But the idea is that you really shouldn't be putting the soap up inside your urethra, whether you're a man or a woman. Yeah, it doesn't need that type of cleansing. And if for whatever reason you are compelled, I always tell my patients to use really gentle cleansers that don't lather, because a lot of times it's the things that make things lather up are the most irritating.
Or just plain water. I mean, that tissue is that really sensitive, gentle mucosa, so different than your skin that it's so easy to irritate it. You put some type of harsh soap or harsh whatever, it's going to react to it.
Well, and I think with any urethritis, which is inflammation of the urethra, you know, one of the simplest things that you can do is also just urinating, which will naturally, again, one-way street, urine, which is
making sure you're hydrated.
Flushes everything out.
That will promote the urination that you're recommending.
Yeah, the one thing I was confused by this question is, you know, you got to work pretty hard to get soap into the urethra. It's not, you know, and I don't know if people out there are using Q-tips or any other object, because it's just a definite no-no, because I think there probably are people who think more is better, and you know, if that's the case, that's just a big no-no.
Well, I think what's also really scary for people sometimes is there's a true overlap between this type of irritant urethritis and then STDs. And I think the most important thing to remember is that if you can identify the trigger and you take away the soap and the symptoms are still there and they're persistent, and you have pain with intercourse, burning with urination, then those can sometimes, like you already alluded to, be signs of infection and definitely warrant medical.
This may be why somebody is actually trying to clean their urethra is in fear of contracting an STD. That's not the right way.
Much more common cause of urethritis would be a sexually transmitted infection, and the symptoms are so very different in individuals. Some people, it will just be a little bit of itching down there, others frank discharge. You know, I think it's one of those, we often are embarrassed by these things, but understand, if you think you might have a sexually transmitted infection causing your urethritis, you've got to get it treated, because you are then, you know, not only is your health in jeopardy, but certainly your partner's health. And the sooner these things are treated, the better.